On Global TV News Prime, Patient Jonathan pledges 2027 support for Remi Tinubu. In business, Pan-African manufacturers says plastic ban threatens local industries. And on the foreign scene, Zelensky announces May 15 Russia-Ukraine peace talks. In sports, National Women Football League title race begins. Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Prime on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. My name is Godwin Sunday. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and StarTimes channel 276. You can download the Global TV Nigerian mobile app for Android and iOS devices to keep track of our broadcasts. And now to the news in details. Rivers State government has called for strengthened collaboration between security agencies, community stakeholders and residents to combat sea piracy, illegal oil bunkering and other forms of criminality in the state. The state's sole administrator, retired Vice Admiral Ibokete Ekwe Ibas, gave the charge during a town hall security stakeholders meeting held in Opobo town. Ibas, represented by the State Commissioner of Police, Olubenga Adepoju, emphasized the need for collective efforts to safeguard critical government assets and infrastructures. A former First Lady, Dame Patient Jonathan, says she will not seek a return to Aso Rock Villa, opting instead to campaign alongside Senator Oluremi Tinubu for the 2027 general elections. Jonathan made this statement while receiving an award from Abuja, acknowledging Folashade Tinubu Ojo, the president's daughter and Yaloja General of Nigeria. The former First Lady, who has long supported idea of rotational leadership, emphasized the importance of unity, national progress, and widely recognized a turn-by-turn system as should be the base for elections in Nigeria. A civil society organization, the Concerned Citizens Network for Democracy, has issued a 72-hour ultimatum to the government of Benue and Zamfara states demanding an immediate recall of all suspended lawmakers or face legal actions aimed at halting statutory federal allocations to both states. In a statement released in Abuja and signed by its Secretary General, Moses Adamu, the group accused the two State House of Assembly of operating in violation of the Nigerian Constitution, alleging that they lack the legal quorum required to function or pass appropriation bills. The group vowed to approach the Federal High Court to compel the Central Bank of Nigeria and the Accountant General of the Federation to suspend monthly allocation disbursements to the state until constitutional order is restored. In a wider consultation on how to address the wave of defections and the crisis rocking the People's Democratic Party, PDP, governors elected on the platform have invited former governors and other stakeholders of the party to a meeting in Abuja. An insider says the governor also summoned members of the Board of Trustees and former presiding officers of the National Assembly. PDP leaders would address key issues including the upcoming National Executive Committee meeting and the National Elective Convention at the expanded meeting. Meanwhile, a forum of the ruling All Progressive Congress in the North Central geopolitical zone has called on Nasarawa State Governor Abdullahi Sule to align with other party leaders supporting President Bola Tinubu's administration and his potential re-election bid in 2027. Operating under the edges of the North Central APC Forum, the group urged Governor Sule to clearly declare his stance on Tinubu's administration following recent remarks made by the governor regarding the political direction of the Progressive Change CPC bloc within the APC. The CPC was one of the parties that merged to form the All Progressive Congress APC. Recently, members of the CPC bloc have been courted by an opposition coalition led by the former Vice President Atiku Abubakar and ex-Kaduna State Governor Nasir El-Rufai. Human rights lawyer and senior advocate of Nigeria, Femi Falana, has demanded a probe into what he described as the diversion of a $3.4 billion loan from the International Monetary Fund. Last week, the International Monetary Fund confirmed that Nigeria had fully repaid the $3.5 billion in COVID-19 financial support it received under the Rapid Financing Instrument. Although the principal balance stands at zero, scheduled charges, including net charges, basic interest, and administrative fees, amounts to SDR 125.125.99 million at the current exchange rate. This translates to approximately 275.28 billion naira. The chairman of the Senate Committee on Ethics, Privileges and Public Petitions, Senator Nada Imasuen, has urged the federal government to reinforce security in troubled Edo communities. Imasuen, a Labour Party senator representing Edo South Senatorial District in the Red Chamber, said in Benin that this is the only way peace can fully be restored to the affected communities. Imasuen also stated that the popular interest remain the key driver of his agenda at the National Assembly, and he has worked to ensure that the bill is sponsored and the projects he undertakes are people-oriented. The national chairman of the All Progressive Congress, APC, Dr. Abdullahi Ganduje, has assured Nigerians that the recent influx of defectors, including 3 sitting senators from Kebbi State, will be managed smoothly in line with the party's constitution and established mechanisms. Speaking to journalists after leading the defecting lawmakers to meet President Bola Ahmed Tinubu at Presidential Villa in Abuja, the APC chairman emphasized that the APC remains a disciplined and structured party capable of absorbing new members without disruption. The Joint Admission and Matriculation Board, JAM, has announced the official release of the 2025 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination, UTME, results. JAM Registrar Professor Ishak Oloyede disclosed this during the official release of the 2025 UTME results in Abuja. Our correspondent Sharon Ajay presents the details.
The examination body revealed that 80 individuals are currently under investigation for examination-related offences, with Anambra State recording the highest number of suspects with 14 in total. The registrar noted that 467 underage candidates scored above the minimum benchmark, while 50 others were found to be involved in the examination fraud. Oloyede stated that the seizure of results was due to suspected examination malpractices.
In all, over 10,000 officials were involved in conducting, monitoring, and managing the exercise. Without any equivocation, this year's exercise will be remembered as the most successful in recent times. 71,705 were absent, and a total of 2,157 candidates' fingerprints were rejected by the machines as invalid. This failure was beyond the acceptable normal margin of failure. We interrogated it because it was abnormal. Subsequent discoveries in this regard indicated that a number of the candidates whose fingers were unrecognized had one question of registration infraction or another to answer.
Sharon Ajay reporting for Global TV News.
Following the signing of concession agreement, the Benue State government has finalized arrangements with Raxonal Group Limited for the implementation of the Food City project in the state. The project is aimed at promoting food production and processing of agricultural products. Our correspondent, Felicity Ndere, completes the story.
Barely 1 month ago, the Benue State government entered into a memorandum of understanding with Roxadam Group Limited for the establishment of National Food Security Complex in the state. The signing of concession agreement for the project in Otukpo is coming after due diligence as regards the terms of engagement and consultation with relevant stakeholders.
I have signed a lot of memorandum of understanding, MOU, since I came on board. Some, they use it only to collect loans and go back. Your case will not be like that in Jesus' name. Yeah. If you do like that, we will sanction you.
We sent your due diligence documentation, your project design documents, your architectural design documents, and all of those, your financial model, to 13 MDAs to provide expert advice on the various components of your project. I'm also happy to inform you that all of those came back positive. We wrote to the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and also received a positive response on your project. Just like the Honorable Commissioner for Agriculture has said, as far as human logic is concerned, we have done what we need to do.
For some of the partnering agencies and parastatals, the implementation of the project will be of immense benefit to the state in the areas of food processing, employment generation, and boosting of internally generated revenue.
What this seeks to do is to create a hub for the Benue people to be able to provide food security, not just for itself, but also for other people across across Nigeria.
The project, according to implementing partners, will be carried out in phase with that of Otukpo being a pilot scheme.
The state has to actually live to our potential as the food basket of the nation. That's why I said it's divinely orchestrated, because the state has had this name even before we came up with the idea of National Food City Complex. So I can assure you, by the grace of God, our gathering today, in the next 60 days, we shall be talking about the milestone of what we have achieved physically on ground.
The investors are to establish and manage for 25 years, after which they will hand over to the state government as co-partners. Felicity Ndere reporting for Global TV News, Makurdi.
The Assistant Inspector General of Police in charge of Zone 10, comprising Sokoto, Kebbi and Zamfara State, has charged officers of the Zamfara State Police Command to redouble their effort in tackling security challenges in the state. AIG Gwango Grima made the call during his maiden visit to the command headquarters in Gusau, the state capital. Our correspondent, Kabil Hassan, has details.
The Assistant Inspector General of Police, Geron Girma, arrived at the Zamfara State Police Command headquarters for the first time since assuming office as AIG Zone 10. He was received by senior officers and inspected the quarter guard mounted in his honor before proceeding to the command conference hall. Addressing officers of the command, AIG Geron Girma commended their efforts and sacrifices in maintaining law and orders across the state. He emphasizes the need for renewed commitment and professionalism in confronting the persistent security threat facing Zamfara State.
And so, I didn't come here to bring any tension or to raise any temperature. If anybody's temperature is high, bring it down. If you have BP, it will go down now. Just be your natural self, be calm. Situations will never finish. And you are not experiencing anything new. Others have experienced what you are experiencing. But their level of calmness must have helped them to sort themselves out and finish well.
The State Commissioner of Police, Ibrahim Maikaba, in his remarks, appealed for enhanced operational equipment. He stressed the importance of improved mobility, communication gadgets, and continuous intelligence sharing.
And 20 divisions and 36 police outstations. It is of security importance to let the AIG have an overview of the crime situation in Zamfara State, which among others include cattle rustling, kidnapping and abduction, culpable homicide, armed robbery, and reprisal attacks. These are serious security challenges facing the command. However, the command, in its effort to stem the tide of these security challenges, has improved and sustained its crime-fighting strategies that covered all the 40 local government areas in the state. Challenges of the command. The command is confronted by enormous challenges that affect the existing security arrangement in the state, notable among which are manpower. Daily and periodic transfer of officers out of the command without replacement has greatly depleted the strength of the command, thereby making our crime-fighting strategy and efforts to be very, very ineffective. So I'm pleading with the AIG to help us prevail on at least 4 headquarters to help us and make sure that whenever there are transfers that affect the state command, there should be replacements.
The visit is seen as a memorable booster for officers and men of Zamfara Police Command as the leadership of the force continues to demonstrate its commitment to strengthening internal security and the region. Hassan Kabir reporting for Global TV.
Benue State is widely recognized as the food basket of the nation thanks to its predominantly farming population and impressive agricultural output. As the planting season progresses, our correspondent Felicity Ndere explores one of the state's cherished traditional dishes, pounded yam. Felicity now reports.
Yam, the primary ingredient for pounded yam, symbolizes abundance and prosperity, making it a key feature of cultural celebrations and ceremonies. For the people of Benue, pounded yam is more than just a meal. It represents cultural heritage, unity, and communal joy. During the farming season, farmers go to great lengths to ensure a successful and bountiful harvest, saying that its importance can never be overemphasized.
I've been farming yam for over 35 years now, so I'm conversant with yam, and that is my main product. Even in my farm, I don't even support it with cassava as other people do. I farm yam separate, and if I like, I farm cassava separate. Because yam, at our community, particularly the tea people, that's our major cash crop, yam. At least you find yam for consumption, you find yam to sell and get money. Farmers, they should not relent in their efforts. Even if we don't have fertilizer, we farm whatever thing we can get as a result of the one we planted, even if it is small. If we cannot sell again, we eat. Because without fertilizer and this necessary herbicides, it's difficult to farm yam in a good quantity because our soil have grown bad. So we need fertilizer.
For Reverend Innocent Alike and Teso Adamu, eating pounded yam provide lasting energy for daily activities and bodily functions. It also gives them a sense of belonging to the Tiv Nation, known worldwide for their love of pounded yam.
I eat pounded yam more than a Tiv man because I'm praying to God that God should not allow any sickness that will take away pounded yam in my life. Because if I eat pounded yam, I will sleep well and my body become heavy.
It is eaten by most Nigerians, but especially among the Tiv people of Benue State, Nigeria, because they are the largest producers of yam in Africa. So when you eat pounded yam, it's apart from satisfying your hunger, it gives you strength.
According to nutritionists, pounded yam is an excellent source of carbohydrate that provides long-lasting energy. It also contains vital nutrients, including vitamin C and B6, along with important minerals like potassium.
The people that are diabetic avoid pounded yam.
In Benue State, pounded yam is a symbol of tradition, identity, and unity. Rooted in the state's agricultural success, it reflects the rich cultural heritage and the strong spirit of its people. Felicity Ndere, Global TV News.
Kano, the commercial city in northern Nigeria, has been a trade hub for grains and textiles since the colonial era. And today, the resilient shoemaking business in Kofa Wambai market employs hundreds and thousands of people working at various stages of the manufacturing processes. Our correspondent, Jubril Idris, takes a look at the business action of this community. Please, let's take a look.
In Inside Kofar Wambai Market in Kano lay sheets of leather in plain sight waiting to be processed into footwears of various sizes and designs. The art of shoemaking is known to be an ancient trade in Kano, dating as far back as the 11th century. On daily basis, hundreds of youth, including women, spend time on various stages of shoemaking, such as cutting the leather, applying gum to leather materials, and shaping the different animal skin. Leather materials dyed locally in different colors are used to make footwears of different sizes, from relatively simple to very complex. Bags and other leather materials are also made here.
I have been doing this business for several years, and we do produce all kinds of shoes, bags, and other leather materials.
Ali Sidi is one of the shoemakers. Inherited from his father, Ali has been benefiting from the trade for the past 35 years and is now passing it to his children.
For 35 years, I have been making shoes in this market. I learned it from my father, and I'm now teaching my children.
Over the years, shoemakers in Kano say sales have been good, but the insufficient supply of raw materials, inadequate capital, and lack of government intervention are threatening their production capacity.
Sincerely, we started this business from Kurmi Market, and with the advent of foreign shoes, we migrated to this place, but we are now threatened by the lack of government intervention.
With increasing opportunity in the trade, there is no doubt that more improved quality footwears can be produced only when importation of foreign shoes is completely banned. From Kano, Idris Jibrin reporting for Global Television News.
Cocoa has settled at $9,187 per ton at the New York Commodity Exchange as Africa's most populous country, Nigeria, seeks to reduce its over-reliance on crude oil earnings. Investors have renewed their interest in cocoa beans as prices rocketed due to Nigeria's attempt to diversify its oil-dependent economy. United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization data shows Nigeria remained the world's 7th largest cocoa bean producer, with production exceeding 280,000 tons in 2023. Well, on the foreign scene, the Embassy of the People's Republic of China in Nigeria has refuted a media report by the Atlantic Federation of Nigeria, AFN, in which it blamed its withdrawal from the Guangzhou World Atlantic Relays scheduled to hold in China between May 10th and 11th on the delay of issuance of visa by Chinese authorities. According to the statement issued by the embassy, the delay was caused by a Nigerian authority, which took over 10 days to provide the necessary documents requested by the embassy to proceed with the visas. The embassy regretted the inability of Nigerian athletes to participate in the event in China, insisting that the statement issued by the federation was evidently inconsistent with the fact. Meanwhile, the Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says that Kyiv would meet with Moscow for talks in Istanbul on May the 15th, insisting that Russia must first commit to a 30-day ceasefire starting from Monday. Zelensky, using real language since Moscow invaded his country more than 3 years ago, described Russia's proposal to convene direct peace talk as a positive sign. Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan says he is ready to host negotiations, telling Russia Vladimir Putin in a phone call that a window of opportunity had been opened for peace. And meanwhile, in sports, the 2025 Nigerian Women's Football League Premiership Super 6 playoff has kicked off at Remo Stars Stadium in Ikene with 3 tightly contested matches as the country's top teams began their quest for the league crown and a place in the 2025 Federation of African Football Women's Championship League. The early kickoff saw Nasarawa Amazons come from behind to urge Niger Retails 2-1 in a lively North Central derby. The one-day-at-a-time girls struck first through Rita Tesbi, who well-hit free kick in the 13th minute gave the FCT Bay side a dream start. On Global TV News Prime, former First Lady Dame Patience Jonathan says she will not seek to return also to the Aso Rock Villa, opting instead to campaign alongside Senator Oluremi Tinubu for the 2027 general elections. Cocoa has settled at $9,187 per ton at the New York Commodity Exchange as Africa's most populous country, Nigeria, seeks to reduce its over-reliance on crude oil earnings. And on the foreign scene, Ukraine President Volodymyr Zelensky says that Kyiv would meet with Moscow for talks in Istanbul on May 15th, insisting that Russia must first commit to a 30-day ceasefire starting from Monday. In sport, the 2025 Nigerian Women's Football League Premiership Super 6 playoff has kicked off at the Remo Stars Stadium in Kenya with 3 tightly contested matches as the country's top team began their quest for the league crown and a place in the 2025 Confederation of African Football Women's Championship League begins. That's it on Global TV News Prime. A quick reminder that Global TV is on DSTV channel 365 and StarTimes channel 276. Kindly follow us across all our social media platforms that are showing on your screen using at Global TV NG. You can download the Global TV Nigerian mobile app for Android and iOS devices to keep track of our broadcasts. I am Godwin Sunday. Thank you for watching.